United States Highway 522. Yeah. Alright, we've come to the last US highway in Pennsylvania that we have to cover, and it is US 522. This one goes more northeast, southwest than just north-south. Here's the map. Sorry, I kinda drew it wrong because the road actually is concurrent with I-70 after entering Pennsylvania from Maryland. But we enter Pennsylvania somewhere near Warfordsburg, and we're gonna go up through Lewistown and up to Selinsgrove. Nothing bad better happen this time or else. This is the Xavier 456, and you are watching Shaming PENNDOT, with new videos on this series out every week. If this content's for you, then go ahead and give us a like. And if this content is really for you, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and turn on those notifications. And here's my weekly reminder that you can request your exit or intersection in the comments below. And the next week, we will be starting the Pennsylvania state highways, and we're going to open up with Pennsylvania 12. Alright, first we're going to talk about northbound US 522 in Pennsylvania. Here we start on I-70, and we get our exit for 522 north as it exits itself. Warfordsburg. Oh, but you wouldn't! Warfordsburg is literally the town we're in right now, and in order to get to it, you actually have to drive south. Here goes to 522. The road that you should have signed Warfordsburg actually appears here, PA 484. And when you now get something for North 522, it's McConnellsburg, and I think that works. Well, here's something I haven't seen in Pennsylvania, a whole welcome sign for a county. And this one's for Fulton County. Not sure why they'd have the audacity to put their own welcome sign on here. Here's our first actual intersection after I-70, and this one's with PA 643, which is signed for Townhill. Here in Needmore, we are meeting with PA 655. And Quartermatch 437 tried to keep his requests constrained quite a bit, but boy, it didn't end well. I got 5 requests this time, so I'll give him them all. North PA 655 will be joining up with North US 522 here. Now, we didn't get a mileage sign until here, where we now see Harrisonville on the top line at 12, which is actually for PA 655, and McConnellsburg is signed for 522 here, at 13 miles away. This is where PA 655 splits off of US 522 and is going to Harrisonville. Here we are in downtown McConnellsburg, a nice small town, and we actually meet with PA 16 here. Here is the intersection with US 30, and this is Quartermatch 437's second request. And we can see it's signed eastbound for Chambersburg, and that is absolutely the right choice. And up westbound, we can see it signed for Breezewood! Out of all the cities you would be signing, you have to sign the one weird interstate junction that everybody hates. Why Breezewood? Why can't you just go with something else like Greensburg or even Pittsburgh, for heaven's sake? Ugh! PENNDOT! Why do you even? Let's just move on. At our next mileage sign, we now see Fort Littleton signed. You know, that is actually an unincorporated community, but they're only signing it because that's where you meet the turnpike. And our bottom line is Mount Union. Mount Union is definitely not bottom line worthy. I would skip over Fort Littleton and just put Mount Union and Lewistown, if you ask me. And as I've stated, this is the only reason that we signed Fort Littleton in the first place, the turnpike. And from this point, our mileage sign does actually reflect Lewistown on the bottom line, with Mount Union now on the top. That's better. Here in the distance at this intersection is PA 641, and this is the best view I can get from it going northbound since there is no signage. This is Quartermatch 437's third request. And here in Mount Union, we meet with US 22, and we're going to be concurrent with the eastbound. And westbound signed for Huntingdon, maybe. And Lewistown is signed for eastbound, and us northbound. And I think that's fine. And I didn't actually show you this mileage sign on the US 22 video, because I like to skip over the mileage signs back then for some reason. We get McVeytown on the top line and Lewistown on the bottom line. When the split happens with the Business 22 route into Lewistown, we get East 22 and North 522, Harrisburg, and Selinsgrove, which are the right choices. And now we meet with US 322, signed west correctly for State College. We also meet with
Electric Avenue.
And East 22, 322, and North 522 are signed correctly for Harrisburg and Selinsgrove. And what would Lewistown be without a mention of Quartermatch 437? This was his fourth request. And here 522 North splits off of 22 and 322, and we only get Walnut Street. We should be getting Selinsgrove on that sign. 100%. And here's where we go under US 322 and 22, and we can actually see a ramp that will take you back onto the westbound portion of those routes. On our next mileage sign, we can see Middleburg is on the top line at 29, and Selinsgrove is obviously our bottom line at 40 miles away. Well done. But once we get into Selinsgrove, we get a road going to Selinsgrove to the right, but North 522 is now getting Sunbury. But they're only favoring PA 147 across the Susquehanna. How about no? How about you favor US 11 and US 15 instead? And I'd say favor US 15 and sign Williamsport. We can also see a green bridge to the left that we'll be crossing. And here's where US 522 ends. And this is the last request I have from Quartermach 437. If he were to request everything he could for this route, he would literally go with everything between Lewistown and Selinsgrove. We meet with US 11 and US 15, sign north for Lewisburg and Danville. And there's also an exit to a circle that'll take you to a mall road, and you'll have to turn right and then left again to turn around back on this road and go south on 11 and 15 and 522, all signed for Harrisburg and Selinsgrove. We will be doing that now and talking about southbound US 522 in Pennsylvania. After we've done this little loop, we can see south and north 11 and 15, left and right, and 2 US 522 is directed to the left. Here's where 11 and 15 split, which to the right is the Ghost Freeway construction. South 11 and 15 are signed for Harrisburg, and 522 South is signed for Selinsgrove, even though we're pretty much already there. And once we leave this random road, we now get signed for Middleburg. No, why Middleburg? That should be Lewistown. But of course, PENNDOT is signing their secondaries once again, and we get Middleburg on the top line and Lewistown on the bottom. And Lewistown remains on the bottom line as we get this mileage sign with Beavertown on the top line now. And since we're angling west, you probably know what I'm going to say. State College! US 522 doesn't go through anything for quite a while, so you should start favoring US 322. You hear me? Here we join with US 22 and 322, and we're signed for State College. Finally, and eastbound is signed for Harrisburg, of course. We split off of US 322, signed for State College, and we are signed on concurrency to Mount Union. Now, I feel stupid for skipping this mileage sign in my US 22 video, as this is one of the best mileage signs in all of Pennsylvania. We get Mount Union, Huntingdon, and Pittsburgh 159 miles away on a US highway. Absolutely stunning. Longest distance I've seen on a mileage sign for a US highway in Pennsylvania. No surprises here. This is getting a rare Pennsylvania W. So good. US 22 is a major US highway in its own right, and we can't neglect the big places it goes to. But now it's time for us to split off of US 22, and we get Mount Union going straight. Huntingdon also signed for US 22, and Orbisonia. Excuse me? Add it with secondaries again, PENNDOT? I'm not satisfied. But Orbisonia is 11 miles away, and McConnellsburg is 38 miles away. I don't think McConnellsburg is big enough to be signed that far away. But then again, there's not much out here. Here's the covered bridge that was featured in my thumbnail. This is the St. Mary's Bridge. Back in Fort Littleton, we meet with the Pennsylvania Turnpike, and we can also see a direction shield of I-76 on the right side of the road. And now we got a mileage sign with McConnellsburg on the top line, which I believe is where it should be. And now we get Warfordsburg on the bottom line. That is absolutely horrible. No! You should not favor where we join with I-70 at all. That is a small place. Go with Winchester, if anything. Here we meet with US 30 again, signed for Breezewood, because why would you sign anything else? Greensburg or Pittsburgh. And east is signed for Chambersburg, though you can't see it. At the next mileage sign, it just keeps getting worse and worse. Now we get Needmore on the top line, and Warfordsburg is still on the bottom line. Why won't you sign Winchester here? Winchester's like the next really significant city on this route. This is PENNDOT right now. We need more bad control cities. And then after Needmore, Warfordsburg is on the top line, where it should have been, but our bottom line is now Hancock, which is so small. It's literally just a junction of I-68 and I-70. Hancock is not acceptable anywhere, even on this road. And then we meet with I-70, with the own insult, Breezewood, and Hancock. Breezewood shouldn't even be there. Pittsburgh should be there. And Hancock shouldn't even be there either. Even though it's a junction, it should be Baltimore. Why won't you sign Baltimore here, PENNDOT, you stupid little... Okay, this is absolutely not the ending I wanted. I will see you all next time. Until then...